What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Arcana Lacquer video. I am super geeked to show off this collection. Last month, when I showed you all the Beyond the Myth set, that 12-piece monster set, pun intended, there's something just special about it, and I really enjoyed it. Especially, we had so many special effects, thermals and such in there, and I just thought they were so beautifully done. That said, not too long after I released that video, I got my next PR package from the makers of Arcana. And when I opened it, I was like, holy crap. And I was even more blown away. And that's saying something because I don't like overhyping something if I personally don't super like it. And when I say that something impressed me, it's because it genuinely impressed me. And this set, I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't want it to cheapen what I said about the last release, but this release, so very pretty. And the inspiration is super cute and just magnificent. So kudos to Arcana that every single month, it just seems like they're just better and better and better. And they're also coming up on their 1-year anniversary too. So that's super exciting and all of that. So all that to say, if you haven't checked them out and you haven't given them a try yet, maybe this collection might push you over the edge to give them a try. It's fantastic. I'm here for light colors. I'm here for springy vibes, and we're finally out of cold weather. And so I'm just feeling a certain way with all these beautiful color palettes. Throwing up the collage picture behind me here is I don't know. They're very pretty and wonderful, which they are appropriately named. This is the Something Magical collection. And we have another 12-piece set that is featuring all different types of unicorn type themes. And something about the indie polish community, it's always been about unicorns. And so when I see unicorn type of collections come out, and then when they're done correctly, or correctly to my opinion, I should say, I always thoroughly enjoy them and I'm here for it. So get comfy. Let's check them out. Starting off this rainbow with Volcanicorn. This is a black and red base with the strong red pearlescent finish that shifts slightly over to orange. This one's inspired by unicorns in volcano and lava environments. We have a somewhat standard type of finish in terms of how it applies. I'm going to suggest 3 coats to build this one up. You may get a decent opacity on that second coat, but because we have an almost chrome-like feel in how it dries down, so it's really flat in that regard, I would suggest 3 coats to plump it up and maximize the amount of beautiful pigment on your nails. This has that nice candy paint looking effect to it. It is truly lovely. It's almost like a candy red type of car color, if you will. I'm going to suggest those 3 thin coats and a really plumping glossy top coat. Floracorn is a magenta base with rose gold flakes and pink to yellow shimmer. This one's for unicorns that live in fields of flowers. This is a very jelly type of formula, and again, I will suggest 3 coats to build it up and give that nice pond mosaic-like effect with the flakes. They are of the smaller type of size in terms of particle size between that and the shimmer itself. So the shimmer is what I would say is more of a larger particle. So we have this almost foil-like effect between them both when you look at them from a distance, like on my full hand shot here. Up close, you can tell the difference that it's flake and shimmer action going on, but just thought that was worth noting. You'll almost get a bit of a reflective type sparkle. Faericorn is a soft muted pink base with green to purple shimmer. This one is inspired after unicorns that live amongst the fairies. If you hear any stampeding behind me, that would be Chai and Elminster deciding to mimic like a stampede, if you will, so I do apologize about that. Faericorn is a jelly type of formula. It is on the lighter side, and if you have a really prominent free edge, you might want to use a blurring base or a nude to you base, your preference on that if a smile line bugs you. It's pretty soft overall, as this is what I would describe as being an almost milky type of finish. It's, again, soft and meant to be very delicate, so I would suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. Speaking of delicate pinks, Babicorn, or Babicorn, if you will, is a soft baby pink curly base with strong orange to green shimmer. This one is, if you guessed it, this one's unicorns that start off as babies as well. We have another softer, milky looking effect. I will also suggest 3 coats on this. Dry time on these more plumper looking finishes was excellent. I had no issues going in and potentially dragging the polish if I went in too quickly with my quick dry glossy top coat. So I am happy to report that no need to be careful. If you wanted to say go in a touch heavy handed, your preference on that. Citracorn is a creamy salmon base with glowy orange shimmer. This one's inspired after a grapefruit unicorn. We have a true jelly formula. This is always what I'm referring to when I say straight up jelly goodness. It has this slickness to it that's very much like a liquid type of jello, if that makes sense. I think going in for this second and third coat will give you a good idea of that. Now, these types of jellies, in my opinion, they do dry down pretty quick. So I don't think you'll have to say, rush your job per se, but I do think that make sure you're just minimizing your brush strokes, if that makes sense. That also helps prevent any type of potential discrepancy between your fingernails when you have jelly finishes like this. And I think it offers fantastic opacity in terms of being a jelly. So 3 coats and a glossy top coat. Tropicorn is a creamy light teal crelly base with purple to yellow pearl shimmer. This one is for unicorns that wander around tropical islands. We have another similar formula to Citracorn. This is almost that super jello-like glossy type of formula, if that makes sense. I'll also suggest going up to 3 coats with it. It has that, again, milky type of formula going on here. It's like a jade quartz type of stone appearance in person. I will also suggest a blurring base coat if a visible nail line bothers you and you do have a white type of free edge, that kind of thing. But overall, it's soft and purposeful. So I don't know, your preference. Mermacorn is one of my top picks in the set. This is a teal base with pink to purple and green to blue flakes and silver to pastel purple magnetic pigment. This one is inspired after unicorns that have adapted to live underwater with mermaids. And we have a very strong metallic chrome-like finish going on here. It plumped up really well, and I would suggest between 2 to 3 coats, your preference, but I personally like to have a lot of pigment to work with. I'm repeating myself on a lot of these videos, but I always try to be as clear in my instructions as much as possible for my reviews, because I know there's a lot of you who are new to the channel. So have as much magnetic pigment on your nails as possible so you'll have that stark contrast when you go in with a magnet. Stormicorn is a blue-green jelly base with purple to red shimmer, green to purple metallic flakes, and purple reflective glitter. This one is inspired after unicorns that serve Poseidon, and it also has a true jelly formula. Excellent suspension with all those little flakes going on throughout it, so I didn't need to, say, put my bottle upside down or do any rigorous shaking, that sort of thing. I had easy coverage getting those out of the bottle onto the brush. I will also suggest 3 coats to build it up here. I didn't have any super gritty texture from this, and I don't really see a need to go in with a glitter smoothing top coat unless, of course, your top coat of choice is ridiculously thin. Cosmicorn is a deep sapphire base with pink to purple flakes and loaded with micro holographic flakes. This one's inspired after unicorns that travel across the cosmos. This is another one of my top picks in this release. And of course, it's blue. I try not to be blue biased. I will forever love these midnight blue type of colors. This has that galaxy type effect to it with, I don't know, like a starry sky, if you will. The flakes themselves gave me no issues in terms of texture or anything like that. So I think a regular top coat of your choice will be just fine that way. Now, I want to note that for opacity, you might have that at the second coat if you're rocking shorties or nubbins. Regardless, I will still suggest going up to 3 thin coats to maximize all that flaky payoff. Gothicorn is a purple jelly with red to orange shimmer, holographic micro flakes, and black flakes. This one is inspired after goth unicorns, which I'm totally here for. And it's also one of my top picks in the set too. This will have a very light type of buildup in general. If you are wanting something, say, really in your face for that opacity factor, I would suggest maybe having like a purple, like an eggplant, I would say, type of undie. But overall, it built up at 3 coats for me. You might want to use a glitter smoothing top coat because those flakes did give me some texture and thirstiness in general. It's like a soft type of goth appearance. It's the strong shimmer going throughout it that's building you up to that pseudo-like opacity. Mysticorn is a light lilac base with red to orange, orange to yellow, yellow to green, green to blue, pink, pink to purple, and silver flakes, and a holographic magnetic pigment. This one is inspired after a rainbow unicorn. And if you follow Arcana on their Instagram, there's a mixing video for how this one was made. And it's so pretty how much flakes go into it. And it's interesting because on the nail, you can absolutely see that rainbow of smaller particle size type of flakes. So it's very delicate in that regard. When you magnetize it, you'll get ethereal looking effect. It's not super stark in my opinion, but it is enough in person. You can see that ghostly type of silver holographic effect, if that makes sense. I will suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. Lastly, we have Sweeticorn or Sweeticorn, which however you want to say it. This is a bright pink when hot to pinkish red when warm thermal to a darkened magenta when cold base with blue to green shimmer and blue to green microflakes. This one's inspired after unicorns that spread love and sweetness. We have a very curly type of more flirt with being a cream, if I'm completely honest. Easy to build up to opacity. So I could have stopped at 2 coats if I wanted to, but I like that plump appearance and I chose to go up to 3 light coats. So your preference on that, though I think most of you will be just fine at the 2nd coat. There is a middle color here. It's being really subtle because that hot pink is like freaking out my camera. But in person, I can definitely see that there is reddish cast in the in-between between that light hot pink and that super intense magenta-like purple in the cold state. It's Texas here. The weather is warming up. And of course, I was running pretty warm even with the ice water shot. So I do apologize about that. And we're going to wrap this up with the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. Lots of shimmers, and that first half of the video was mostly these milkier type of shimmer bombs, except for Floracorn. That one had some flakes in it. But overall, I think most of them pass the test, and you can get really creative with them, especially because they're more delicate in some of these pinky type of base colors. You can stick with colors that are in the same family as the bases respectively. I also think that you can kind of, maybe on the pinks kind of venture out a little bit and kind of experiment with, say, like a magenta or a deeper type of berry, that type of thing. I think it works. Now, the 2 magnetics in this collection also pass the test, and I would strongly suggest using darker colors with those, and you'll get a really cool effect with the tinted base. And of course, these last few that have the heavier types of ingredients, for lack of better words, they have the flakes, some of the reflective glitters and the black flakes, that type of thing. You can topper these too. I think I would stick with darker colors. And of course, the outlier here is the thermal. I don't recommend toppering thermals, especially because this one has more of that cream type of formula. Something Magical is going to drop officially starting March 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I will link you all below to Arcana's website, in addition to their Instagram, if you want to follow them there and keep up with their official information, things like that. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.